Welcome again to part 2 of 4 parts, and the reason why we're dividing 4 parts is because of the different cases. Lecture 4 again is, do we have a legal duty? We found out from the previous class in your textbook that there is a legal duty because the appellate court decided that Michigan could move to Texas, so they were enforcing a behavior for the good of society. The next case now, which is very interesting, is early versus ending field. And what happened in this case, that is 1901, and I want you to know that this is still very much law. Because again, when do we have a legal duty? When do we have an ethical duty? An ethical duty cannot be enforced. A legal duty has to be enforced by law. That means, why? Because we want to encourage or we want to enforce a standard behavior in our society that we're caring for each other. So what happened in this case? A doctor who has no other pressing engagement and who knows that no other doctor is available declines to treat a man who's deathly ill. So that means if I am on vacation or if I am working in a doctor's office and there is no other doctor in the neighborhood on the block or anything like that, if somebody comes over my office and wants me to care for somebody that is very sick or very ill, does he have to care for me? So he does this for no apparent reason, although he had been the family physician and although payment is being offered to him. So here you have a situation where he's been the family doctor and I offer him to pay him if he would please take care of me because I am very sick. The court will not force Dr. Engenfield to take on the responsibility or the duty of treating a patient. State law regulating the profession merely sets up licensing standard and quality control, and it is not a compulsive measure. That means the doctor does not have to treat him even if he's about dying. And of course, wait a minute, what's going on here? He's a doctor. What happened to the oath he took that no matter, as a doctor, he's going to try to make people be better and cure them? The law has not changed in any significant way. It would be different if the doctor be described as already treating the patient. What the court said is if there was a contractual relationship between the doctor and the patient, then the doctor has a legal duty to take care of the person. However, if there is no contractual relationship, that means this is just a person that stopped by, but the doctor never treated him before. There was never a contractual relationship. The doctor does not have any legal duty to care for this person. This is where I want you to read it. Then, the oath is only a professional guideline. It's not law. Policies in a company are guidelines. They are not laws. There's rules and regulations to have some kind of order within the company. The oath is something that you promise. Like I took an oath of holding the Constitution. But it's a guideline. Why am I supposed to be doing it? Is it enforceable? Not necessarily, because not all the time I will argue in court the right and the Constitution. There are times where I argue statutory law, which has nothing to do with the Constitution. Then the next question I'm asking you, what about the Good Samaritan law? In New Jersey, we call it the emergency care. Another question, why we call it Good Samaritan? Where did that word come, that name came, or that title? And it goes back to the Judeo-Christian Bible, the Christian Bible or the Judeo-Christian Bible. The Good Samaritan, where why? Even if he did not know the person, he helped the person. And it's very, very interesting because we do have law that is encouraging us to help somebody. And what the statute really is saying is, if you see somebody that had a car accident and you're passing by that person, and this person, you have a duty to stop and take care of this person. And according to our society value and according to our legal system, you have no obligation to take care of this person. However, if you do take care of this person and then it just happened that you made the situation worse, For example, by pulling the person out of the car, you broke another arm or whatever it is. The statute is protecting you. That means you will be sued, you will be taken to court because did you make the situation worse? Then maybe you should mind your own business. And what the court says, well, you know, let's see what's going on. So the statute says, Your Honor, please dismiss me from the case because I'm protected under the statute. Statutory law is for the good of society, not necessarily for the individual. We are trying to encourage a kind of behavior, and we want to enforce it by having the Good Samaritan law. It's like speeding. We have laws that you cannot speed. Why? For the good of society. However, is it enforceable? Not necessarily, because we still speed, and unless, you know, there's a police coming after us or there's all kinds of things. But do we have to? No, we don't have to. We still have the freedom of what? Not following the speed and go 65 instead of 55 or going 75 instead of 65. Is it compulsive? No, it isn't. Just because we have a statute, the Good Samaritan law, doesn't mean that every time you see an accident, you have an obligation to stop and help the person. Absolutely not. Can therefore law shape morality? And in the handouts or in our reading assignment, you're going to see that law is trying to enforce morality or enforce a standard of value or ethics, if you want to call it. But it's very difficult because if we make it a law that everybody has to stop when we see an accident, and then you don't stop, what is the punishment? Is it criminal? Do you have to be put in jail? Do you have to pay money? And then what are we going to do? Different amount of money or different time of jail for a leg, for an eye? If you broke two legs and you did not help the person, then you're going to stay 6 months in jail, or maybe it's a liability. We really do not know how to compensate or how to punish if we have a statute that we have to help somebody. This is why we make it by case situation. And we're going to have more discussion on the board. Thank you.